Every leader at some point faces that moment, that sinking feeling when everything seems to be breaking at once. But what if? What if you had a blueprint, a single diagnostic tool that could help you see through all that chaos, find the real root cause, and then actually fix it? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. This is a practical path to excellence. All right, to really see how this blueprint works, we need a patient. And our patient today is, well, it's a company in serious trouble. Let's call it ABC Company. And believe me, it is teetering on the absolute brink of collapse. So picture this. You're in charge, and it feels like every single part of your operation is literally on fire, all at the same time. This isn't just some abstract thought experiment, though. This was the cold, hard reality for ABC Company, a vaccine manufacturer staring right down the barrel of a perfect storm. First up, the customers. They are not happy. See, ABC Company has this massive contract to supply a brand new vaccine to the government of country Z, but they've completely failed to deliver. And we're not just talking about a disappointed client here. Oh no, this government is threatening serious legal action for not fulfilling the order. So why can't they deliver? Good question. It's because the factory floor is a complete mess. For starters, there's a critical shortage of the glass vials they need to even bottle the vaccine. And on top of that, the manufacturing process itself is just riddled with technical problems. Production hasn't just slowed down, it's ground to a crawl. And just when you think it can't get any worse, the people who are supposed to be making the vaccine, they can't even get to work. We're talking significant staff absenteeism because they're all out sick. And get this, with the very same virus the vaccine is supposed to prevent. I mean, you literally can't make this stuff up. Okay, let's talk about the money, because that picture is just as grim. The company is staring down huge potential damages from that lawsuit we mentioned. But it gets worse. Because production volume is so incredibly low, they're not even covering their basic fixed costs. So they are actually losing money on every single vaccine they manage to make, all thanks to some preset low prices. What a nightmare. So let's recap. We've got legal threats, total operational failure, a workforce crisis, and a financial hemorrhage. It is absolute chaos. If you're the leader, where do you even begin to fix this mess? I mean, trying to fix one problem at a time is just a game of whack-a-mole. To untangle this giant web, you don't need more panic. You need a system. And that system, that's our blueprint. It's called the Baldrige Performance Excellence Model. Now, I know, the formal name might sound a little dry, but don't let it fool you. This is not some stuffy academic theory. Think of it as the diagnostic tool, the exact instrument a leader needs to make sense of this kind of total chaos. So what is it exactly? Well, the Baldrige model gives you 7 critical lenses, 7 different ways to look at your entire organization. It's a holistic approach, which is just a fancy way of saying it forces you to see how all the different pieces connect. And when you do that, you can improve performance and become more competitive. To put it simply, it's how you bring order to the chaos. Maybe the best way to think about it is like this. It's a complete health checkup for your entire business. Seriously, it's designed to examine all of the vital systems to figure out, okay, what's working, what's a little weak, and what's about to fail completely. And just like any good medical checkup, this business health checkup looks at very specific things. In this case, it examines 7 key areas, or as we're going to call them, the 7 vital signs of any healthy organization. So here they are. You've got leadership, that's what sets the vision, strategy, which charts the course, customers, who you serve. Then there's measurement, analysis, and knowledge management. That's how you learn. Workforce and operations, that's how you get things done. And finally, results, the ultimate scorecard. Now, the real power here is in seeing how all of these things interconnect. For a company in a crisis like ABC, we're going to focus our, let's call it initial triage, on the most immediate fires. That's leadership, strategy, customers, workforce, and operations. Okay, so we've got our diagnostic tool in hand. Let's get back to our patient, ABC Company. It's time to apply this framework and find out what is really going on beneath the surface. And just like that, the chaos starts to get some structure. Look at this.
That jeopardized contract, that's not just a legal problem. The framework tells us it's a breakdown in the customer's vital sign. The vial shortage and the tech issues, that points directly to a failure in operations. The high absenteeism, that's a critical workforce issue, plain and simple. But then the model reveals something even deeper, a seriously flawed strategy, one that's dangerously reliant on just two customers and a broken pricing model. But what's the one thing that connects all of these?
It all traces back to leadership. See, the framework shows us that the core failure wasn't in any one single department. It was a failure right at the top to see how all these problems were interconnected and to act proactively. The leaders weren't managing a system. They were just running around reacting to symptoms. But a diagnosis is only half the battle, right? The true power of this blueprint is that by identifying the sickness in each area, it also shows you the path to recovery. It literally gives you the action plan. Okay, first things first, you have to stop the bleeding. The model tells you to focus on the customer's category. What does that mean? It means getting on the phone with the government of country Z, like right now. You need to negotiate, see if there's any flexibility, reassure them, manage their expectations, and hammer out a new delivery schedule that actually works. At the exact same time, you've got to tackle operations and workforce. And the steps here are pretty clear. For the workforce, get your step vaccinated to solve the absenteeism problem. For supplies, find a new vial supplier or maybe even look into different materials. And for the process itself, get a dedicated team to fix those technical glitches and get the production lines moving again. And finally, and this part is absolutely crucial for long-term health, the model forces you to fix your strategy. You just can't rely on only two customers. It's too risky. The company needs to be out there actively finding new clients and hopefully on much better terms. And they have to review their entire pricing model to make sure they're actually making money. This is how you prevent the next crisis from ever happening. And this really gets to the true purpose of the blueprint. See, it isn't a fire extinguisher that you only grab when the building's already burning down. It's a system for continuous improvement. It's a way to regularly check your vital signs, make small adjustments along the way, and build a truly resilient organization that avoids the crisis in the first place. So that leaves us with one final question, and this one's for you. Leadership, strategy, customers, operations, workforce. As you think about your own organization, your own team, which of its vital signs needs a checkup? Because applying this blueprint just might be the key to unlocking your own path to excellence.